So I have already done the introduction on the kind of leather you are going to be using, but in case you don't have the leather in your environment, you could actually use any leather of choice. But the only difference is that the bag might not end up standing. But if you want the bag to stand, you need to use a two-face leather. Yes, you need to use a two-face leather. And here, right here, I have my two-face leather. So, and this is half yard. So the particular size I am doing, because you asked a specific question, you said, how many of the bags can you get in 1 yard? Well, I'm actually using half yard here, and from my calculation, you get 2 of the size I am making. You get 2 of the size I am making in half yard. That is to say, you are going to be getting 4 in 1 yard. And if you're asking me what size I am using, I'll tell you that I am using a 17 by 24 inches. So the length is 24 and the wideness is 17 inches. So I told you it's a two-face leather. As you can see, there's different color here and there's different color here. As you can see, I've made my markings when I was cutting so that I'll be able to cut it out. So it is 17 by, it is 24 by 17 inches. So you could actually, what's it called? Increase the measurement and reduce it. So this is the main body of the bag, and the bag is a one-cut bag. It's not a bag that has side, bottom, separate. No, everything, both the side and the bottom are all in this one piece that you are seeing. The only thing you need to cut extra is the pocket. The pocket. So I'm going to be using this light leather. As you can see, it's a single face leather. This is the right side and just this is the rough side. So it's a single face leather. I'm going to be using the single face leather for the lining piece, and I've already cut it out at I cut it out at let me see, it's at 9 inches by, I cut it out at 9 inches by 7 inches. I cut it out by 9 inches at 7 inches. Then the handle is 1 inches in width, and it is this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 24 inches in length. So this is 1 inches by 24 inches for the handle, and I have 2. So you said you wanted the bag that we are making rather has a bottle holder, and the bottle holder we are doing is a scrunchy bottle holder. So I've already went ahead off camera to make this. The reason why I did it off camera is because I don't have my safety pin. And I decided, so if you're wondering what is inside, it is just elastic. It is just elastic that is inside. So when you go to the market, you tell them you want elastic, don't that you used to put in trouser for children. You buy it, then you get a material. Okay, the elastic that is inside is just 5 inches in length, and the material is 15 inches in length. So when I put it inside the fabric, I just went ahead and tack it here, then it gives me this scrunchy. So when I want to sew it to the bag, I'll just join it like this and just sew it. So when you want to put your bottle, it will just go in like this. So the width of the material is 3 inches. Then I went ahead and fold it, then I sew it. As you can see, there's stitches here. So I sew it at the edge so that I will have space to pass through my elastic like this. Like I said, the width of this fabric is 3 inches by 15 inches. You can always alter the measurement depending on how big the bottle you want to put it or how small. But I feel since it is an elastic, it will carry any size of bottle. So that is how to go about this elastic. Now the next thing you need, of course, is your zip so that you'll be able to use it as for your zipper, for your back pocket. So you need to sew the zip on it, and you also need your zip head. This zip head, this one is plastic. This one is plastic, and the dozen in my own location, dozen is 12 pieces and it is 100 naira per dozen. There's the metallic one. I think I have one metallic one here. Yes, there's the metallic one. This is the size 5 metallic zip. Acrylic metallic. Yes, metallic zip, and it is 500 naira per dozen in my location. This zip is called a zip cloth. This one is 60 naira per yard in my location. It's 60 naira per yard. It's all black. There's one that has silver or gold in here. That one is 90 naira per yard in my location. But I'm going to be using this plain black. So that is everything about the accessories that we are going to be using on this bag. Now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do now is to just go straight into the sewing part. We'll start sewing from the pocket. We'll keep everything aside and start sewing from the pocket. Now what I'm just going to go ahead and do is to just put my zipper on top like this. Do you get it? And I'll just give it a straight stitch. Then I'll turn it this way and top stitch it. So that's how I'm going to do it. So let's sew. So after we're done sewing, this is what it should look like. Now next thing we're going to do now is to put in our zip head. So this is how I put my zip head. I like removing the strap like this so that it will be easy, and I'll just drag it out. It's sometimes you need to take your time to do it properly so that one will not be longer than the other. But if you get it just right, it will come out. So you see, one is longer than the other, so you have to remove it and do it again so you actually get it. But it's not that difficult. Sometimes you get it on the first trial, sometimes you just have to keep trying. Okay? It's still bent. But it's good enough. Now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do now is to sew it on the body of. So I want this place to be the inside panel. Okay. Now before we sew it, what we are going to go ahead and do is to sew in by 1/2 inches like this. Sew in by 1/2 inches. Just fold it and just sew it so that it do not have rough edges at the top. It will not be having this open end like this. So you just fold it. Let's get the middle. I want to put my fastener holder first at the middle. So we've gotten the middle. We are going to be putting our magnetic holder. Okay. The fabric shouldn't be too big or too small. Just enough to hold your magnetic. Just something small, not too big, not too small. Just something big enough to just hold your magnetic, okay? So now let's go and start stitching. Stitch by half of an inch. Don't forget to stitch. Then keep folding. Now when you get to almost the middle, you put this one too. See the way you're going to be putting it. Then you continue your stitch. Okay? You continue your stitch. So what you do for this side, that's how you're going to go ahead and stitch the second side as well. So after we're done sewing, this is what it should look like. Please make sure you use matching thread. I just use black so that you're able to see what I am doing and how the effect will look like. So this is what it should look like when you are done. Okay, don't forget to oil your machine, because if not, it will be dumping thread. So please oil your machine. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and do now is to put in your zipper. You decide which part you want it to be, either the left or the right. I think this part is okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to rub oil. Okay, this is just to just avoid my leather from moving around when I sew. So I rub oil. I rub oil like this. So this is a simple trick in actually sewing leather. Then I'll start stitching. Don't forget to stitch from the top. You need to stitch the zipper end as well. Now stitch, from stitch, then keep going. Fold for convenience. So we are done with the pocket. Okay, so this is the reason why I say you should use matching thread. You don't want it to be looking like this, so use matching thread. Now the next thing we are going to go ahead and do now is to start fixing our handle. Now the handle doesn't have any special thing. All you need to do is to just give it 2 straight stitches at the end like this. It doesn't have any special because it's different. So you go ahead and sew the second side as well. So when you are done, this is what it should get like. Now the next thing you need to do is to get the middle. Now don't forget that some inches are going into the side. 2 inches are going in for the side, okay? So you measure your 2 inches. This is 1, this is 2. You measure the 2 inches like this. Come this way and measure another 2 inches. Add extra 1 inches for stitching allowance on both sides. So you're going to be putting your handle somewhere around here. Or better still, you could just get the middle again. Okay? When you get the middle, then you measure 2 inches from the middle. Okay? Then you put your handle like this. After the 2 inches. You put your handle after the 2 inches. This is like 2 inches from the top. 2.5 inches from the top. Okay? Then you go ahead and just give it a stitch like this. You stitch it like that. So this is the number 1 way of fixing a tote bag handle. This is number 1 way. You could fix it on the outside. The number 2 way is fixing it on the inside, like this. See it? You just stitch it. So I'm just going to do different ways, making sure the markings that you made earlier are the same. Okay? You just stitch it on the inside like this. Don't forget you're following the initial half inches that you fold in as a guide, so that it will not have too many stitches. You see my own was sewn after. Okay? So you don't want it like this. You want it exactly on top of this one that you sew. So this is the second way. This is the first way, this is the second way. Now the third way of sewing a tote bag handle, let's make our markings again on this other side so that it will be, the handle will be even. This is our middle, and this is our 2 inches on both sides, and this is our 2.5 inches from the top. 2.5 inches from the top. So this is where it should be. Now, another way of fixing your handle is to shape the handle. Okay? You can shape the handle into the required design you want. You can shape it. You know the one that we did earlier was just plain squares. So you could shape the handle into any required design that you want. Okay? You can do circle, you can do V, you can do any design that you want. Then you sew it outside. Then you follow the shape and sew it outside. So let me go ahead and stitch it. But not the least way of sewing a tote bag handle is to add an extension. This is 1 inch in length and this is a squaring. So what you just do is you cut it and you make any design of choice at the bottom. Okay, you make any design of choice at the bottom. This is how it's going to look like. Then you sew this one to it. You sew this one to it like this. So it's adding an extension. When you sew this one to it, then you go ahead and sew the other panel. You've already done the shape that you want, and you sew the other panel to this one like this. Okay. Then you just go ahead and just give it the stitch like this. This leather is slippery. That's why I rub oil on it. It's very, very slippery, and I don't want it to move. So this is all about the handle. You can do any of this handle of choice. And they will come out beautiful. Your bag will come out beautiful. Shall you see? You see, any of the handle you make, your bag will come out beautiful. So please use a matching thread. I just decided to use this color thread. Shall you see, the length are even the same. So you can use any bag, any handle of choice from all these 4 handles that I showed you. Now the next thing we are going to go ahead and do now is to start sewing the sides. Okay, is to start sewing the sides so that we'll get our bottom. All right, now what you're going to go ahead and do is to arrange your bag nicely. When you arrange it nicely, you get the midpoint. We want to get the bottom of our bag. Like I told you earlier, the bag carries the bottom and the sides together. Now when you get the middle of the bag, you are now going to be measuring 2 inches inwards and 2 inches outwards. Okay, you measure 2 inches inwards like this, then you measure 2 inches outwards from the middle this way. I hope you can see me. The middle this way, 2 inches. From the middle this way, another 2 inches. Then you make a straight line to just connect everything. So that is the angle you are going to be cutting out for the bottom. So we'll go ahead and cut it out. So you go ahead and do the same thing for this other side. Use this one to just trace it out. You don't have to be marking everything. Then you cut it out. Now after you're done cutting it out, now the next thing you're going to be marking is another 2 inches from the top where you will be putting your bottle holder. So you can decide to put it anywhere. You start after the ½ inch stitches. This is 1, this is 2 inches like this. Okay, that's going to be serving as where your bottle holder will be. So you can make it on both sides, just be on the correct side. So now what you're going to go ahead and do is to turn your bag to the wrong side, right side facing right side. Okay, then you start making your stitches. Just make a straight stitch to join the 2 bodies together. So if your machine is on leather setting, it shouldn't be hard for you to just sew all the sides. I need to put oil here so that it will be easy to sew. Alright, so you just stitch it. Don't forget the side that you mark. You know that you're marking on one side. So this side that I'm just giving you a straight stitch like this is not where the marking is. That's why I'm just sewing it all the way. Alright? Now this second side is where the angle is. Okay, so that is where we are going to start our stitches first. Now we've gotten to where the marking is. That is where you are going to put this thing. You put it inside because the bag is going to be this thing is going to be inside now. So you are going to be putting it inside like this. All right, inside like this. Then you stitch it. Make sure you back stitch so that it will hold in place. Be careful not to break your needle. Then you continue your stitches, straight stitch. Dry so that it will not be globby. So when you're done stitching, this is what it looks like. Alright, so now what you're going to go ahead and do is to trim off any excesses that you have. Okay, but if your dimensions are right, there shouldn't be any excesses. So the next thing to do is to work on your bottom. You just do it like this. Then you put it on top of your sewing machine. Then you stitch. Okay. So after stitching the first side, you trim off any excesses as well. This is what it should look like. Then you go ahead and trim off the second side. And you go ahead and sew the second side as well, right? And that's what you're seeing. See the way I arrange it. See that these 2 pointy edge are like this. Okay. So when you are done, this is what it looks like. Cut off any excess thread. You can use your lighter as well to bond them. So after you're done, this is what it should look like. So you go ahead and turn your bag inside out. All right, turn it inside out. So if your dimensions are right, your bag should just come out just beautiful. Please don't forget, use matching thread. Use matching thread. All right. So you go ahead and remove it and poke out the edges. So I'm going to bring a bottle, or if a just maybe a flask or something, or a jug, something that we could just put. So this is what your bag looks like. You see it? See, our top bag is ready. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and put is your fastener. I have some right here. Yes, fastener. The fastener comes in different sizes. There's the big one. This is the big size, and then this is the small size. So you put your fastener. Just use the edges of the fastener to get where you are going to poke in with your scissors or your razor. If you have a knife, good. Just poke it in. Don't give me the other scissors. So you just put it in. Okay. Then the second one. You put the second one. I like putting it on a plain sheet. Then I'll use my glue to glue it. You could put it. You could put another fabric like this one too, but me, I like my own like this. It makes sense. Makes more sense. So after putting, this is how it's going to look. So you clip it to this other one. Then you arrange your bag nicely. See where you are going to be putting it. Here, it's perfect. Okay, then you clip it out. This is a super glue. Then you put your glue all around, enough that it's going to stick. This is how it's going to be. So you see it's close to the edge. It's not even showing. So this is how to go about it. So it is ready. Okay, our bag is ready. It is actually ready. Now let's get the bottle. So here we go. You open it. This is where the handle is. You put it inside. Sure, you see? It holds your thing. It holds it. It's not be falling off. Okay? It's not be falling off. It's not be falling off. You could put two if you want. You could put two if you want. It's not be falling off. But this is how it's going to be. You put your kaya in the remaining side. Our bag is ready. Alright? Our bottle holder is ready.